All right, I just realized something really, really powerful, really important. I just got off the phone with one of my best, oldest friends. I'm so grateful for that whole dynamic you can have, just be kicking around ideas, talking things out. I was sharing some stuff I was feeling, he was sharing some stuff, and then like a light bulb went off. We were talking about surrender, and we've both dealt with physical and are still dealing with like physical challenges. And we both have read, so many books, spiritual books. I mean, we understand thoughts create reality, law of attraction, and we both read, Joe Dispenza stuff and Kyle Ceaser stuff and Eckhart Tolle stuff, and understand the concept of surrender, right? And you often will hear spiritual teachers say that, especially like a guy like Joe who's running these retreats and people are having these amazing spontaneous healings. He'll say the moment you're connected enough to the present moment and you find that wholeness, the moment you no longer need the healing is usually when it happens, right? And for those of you who've read these books and have been on a path of self-awareness and discovery and growth, you already know that. You've heard that. You've heard the whole mantra of surrender. You got to be surrendered. You got to accept what is. But here's the thing, and here's what trips us up. If we do have to surrender the now moment completely. We have to accept what is our now. But if you're asking yourself to accept that your current situation and the unwanted or undesirable in your current situation, that you're asking yourself to accept it forever, you're asking yourself something unnatural. You're asking yourself something that's impossible. There's no way that will happen. And I'll tell you why. Because that is not the nature of the universe. It's not the nature of love. The universe is in a constant state of giving and growth and creativity, and it's got the feedback loop from us, and it's responding, and things are constantly changing. Nothing is static. Nothing is static in nature. Nothing is static in the way life force operates. Now, so when we get beyond our limited mind and we get into our breath and we connect to the present moment and we get into that space of utter acceptance and surrender to the present moment, and we make a practice of this, we are connecting with, whatever you want to call it. We're connecting with the field. When you do that, when you really do that, you'll know it. And if you've done it, you know when you've done it. It's unbelievable joy and wholeness and bliss, and you cease to want for anything because it's so, you see the perfection of everything. You're connected to a vantage point that sees everything in its perfection, and it is enough. You also know, if you've been there, that in that moment of utter surrender, you see all this possibility. You see infinite possibility. Well, it's getting dark, isn't it? That's because that's what's there. And so a connection to that means your life, your experience, the things around you will change. You've connected to something different. You have a different vibration. Therefore, you're creating differently. You're sending and receiving differently with the field. Things will change. Now, are they going to change exactly the way your limited mind or your ego or whatever, the way you want them to, exactly when you want them to? Probably not. Only because the one doing the change, the one that's orchestrating it all, well, together with you, is a far more wise, creative mind than you have. So no, it may or may not look exactly like what you want. For some people, it does. They want a healing of MS or Parkinson's or a heart condition or whatever, and that's exactly what happens. Sometimes in just um, a healing session, but other times it's going to look completely different. But the point is, what trips us up about surrender is we think that we have to surrender my now like forever. Like I have to accept what it is in my experience, my pain, say, my disease, or my poverty, or my lack of relationships, or whatever it is that we think when people start talking about surrender, we can easily think, I have to accept this, and the rest of my life, I have to just find a way to be happy with this as it is forever. And you get what I'm saying? You would be trying to contemplate, you would be trying to get yourself to a space that isn't in alignment with the way things work. All you have to do is surrender completely now and accept your now. And trust me, when you do that, you won't care if it ever changes, because in that surrender, it'll be so beautiful it won't matter. But then you will be beginning to co-create the wheels of change. It's law. It's the way it is. You see what I mean? So isn't it easier and lighter to think, I just have to surrender now? Oh, look at this. There's a light right behind me. I should turn it on. Looks like a spotlight. It might blind you. Isn't it lighter to think, to take away the whole forever aspect of surrender and just say, let me just surrender now? Let me just really get surrendered now and see what happens, and do it again and again, and make a practice of getting to my breath and getting grateful for the things I do have, and my relationships that I do have, and the things I can do, and the fact that I'm alive and that I'm breathing and the sun is rising and setting, and just getting grateful for that and getting surrendered to life as it is now, just now. It's easier, right? I just wanted to share that. You not only do you not have to try to get yourself to a place where you are surrendered about everything just as it is forever. Not only do you not have to do, you literally can't do that. You're like trying to get yourself to a space that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, which is awesome, because we live in a universe that is constantly changing and evolving, right? And we are changing and evolving with it, with where our vibration is at, with where our desires are at, with where our surrender is at, with what we're allowing in. That's all I wanted to say. I mean, I'm saying this because I've been tripped up in this way, big time. I've been trying to get surrendered forever. All right. Have a great night. I hope that was helpful. Namaste.